All right, guys, we back with another one. Just me and Tootie today. Hey, girl.
Hi.
All right, we have a new development in the Tyree Nichols case. It's not necessarily with his case, but it's with the officers within the case, especially the sucker who was mad about his wife who started this whole thing. I'm gonna let Tootie give more details. We both, she brought the story to me, but you know what I mean? I like to have the tea, but I like the person who brings me the tea to sip it with me. All right, so let's give a little background on what we're talking about today, too, and go ahead.
So, February 21st, 2021. A lady named Khadijah Towns and her aunt was in the car. I take that back. They were dropping off Redbox and picking up a new Redbox movie. An officer stopped them as they were going back to their car and said, "Hey, did you hear any shootings?" She tell him no. He tells her, "Okay, proceed. Continue to go." As she backs up to maneuver to proceed to go, there was a female officer named Alexis Brown who, for some strange reason, decided to ask her a bunch of questions and proceeds to unlock her car because this lady is asking her why is she being detained or why she's being stopped. The lady unlocks her car. Two male officers, one being Demetrius Haley, Mr. I want to beat people, dislocated this woman's shoulder. She took it to the police station. No one filed any charges against this man. Nothing. So I'm taking it her awareness is this officer should have been gone 2 years ago.
Yeah, see, me I'm happy you thank you for the breakdown too. Okay, me looking at the video, the little clips that I did see, because this just popped a day ago, I'm not sure, but I just seen it about 20 minutes ago, and I want to get on it fast. This guy, Haley, and it's a white dude. It's clear as day it's a white dude. I don't know why they act like he could be white, Spanish, Chinese. He light skinned.
There's a lighter partner
who's helping him. And it says in the video that there's a 2 officer detaining the lady who helped dislocate the shoulder of the woman. Now, Miss Alexander, she should have been the one detaining, but she's, what I heard, and I'm going to put the pictures up as I'm doing this, editing for this podcast. She's mad, it sounds like, that the girl was laughing in her car. There was nothing wrong when the other officer stopped her and asked, "Hey, did you guys hear anything? Da da da." And then proceeded to let them go. When they backed up,
she was having a conversation laughing, and that made the female officer stop her.
Pull her over, but not necessarily pull her over in a manner to ask her for license and registration. She's asking her for her ID. That's not a license, that's an ID where she's buying liquor. Then when a lady didn't, she's like, "What did I do? What did I do?" You reached your hand into her vehicle to open up her car door. Do you know her? What's going on? What kind of Memphis police is this? I mean, I thought LA, okay, we from California, okay, just to let y'all know. We Cali girls, okay?
Cali.
But we thought LAPD was like out of control. Memphis, woo, y'all seeming like y'all with the extras. And now that the videos and the TVs and the cameras can be on your everyday thing, you guys are forgetting that you have that badge and the camera's attached to the badge and it can see everything you do. When the call came in for about a shooting on that day, when the officers were out there looking around, why would these 2 females in the car, and clearly It was only a few seconds. Clearly, you seen the other cop talking to these two girls.
And then where was the cop that allowed her to leave while she was being manhandled?
It sounded like he jumped in on it.
Or maybe he was one of the cops to manhandle her after he let her go.
Once the female cop seemed like she was having an issue with the females, now it's helped rescue the female. But Miss Alexis Brown knew she was wrong because she resigned.
The woman didn't even allow herself to be in trouble and face it the right way. She quit before she was even
investigated,
found accountable for it.
Right. For anything to be, and that's a cover up in itself, because me and my girl, we sitting here digging. We've been digging. We were trying to get started with this podcast for like an hour because we've been digging for pictures of this lady.
Oh, yeah. And she said she smelled marijuana in the car. So when you look up Memphis marijuana laws,
okay,
there's no reason to stop her unless she had 300 pounds or more in her car.
Wow. Is this in 2021 though? It's not a new law, right? Let's look up 2021 law.
Let's go back.
Okay, while she's looking that up. Okay, let me finish stating that there is no pictures of Miss Alexa Brown. They only given her resign paperwork online. And every time I look and say her name or type it in, it's always giving Demetrius' picture. See, I get it. Demetrius isn't aggressive. He is a murderer. He has his thing going. But all officers who's involved in any detained, and the detaining becomes a situation like Tyree, like the young man in my older podcast that I did with Kay Undercover, who's on a boat right now. She's on a cruise. Woohoo, girl. I can't wait to get that started. But anyways, we talked about the fact that it was another guy, you know what I mean? In my father's podcast, we talked about it's another guy that they roughed up. These cops have been a nuisance for the longest. And I say these cops because Dimitri is not the only one that you see clearly in these videos that's surfacing. See, on my podcast, I do a lot of pictures because I want you to stop and pause and see it. Not have to look at the video 1,000 times. Look at the picture and see the direct people we are talking about on our podcast. And it shows the female needed her pictures to be surfacing on the internet because Alexa Brown is the one who did the initial stop. We get it. She resigned. But where is her badge picture at least? Of her being initiated into the academy.
Everybody else's picture pops up.
All the guys. Every single guy. Well, the white guy, it took a while. We need to figure out his name completely too. But the lady is nowhere to be found but her name and her resign papers. And let me speak about the resign papers. It's a lot of fishy stuff going on with that too. The fact that her picture is not surfacing and just that resign paper. But the resigns paper went from like 4 different departments before it ended up officially being stamped on the 7th. Of what date is that too?
Everything started May 6th.
Okay. And she wrote the letter May 4th. She via emailed it first. Then what did she do too?
It bounced around from the 6th to the 7th with a bunch of documented signatures.
Now, the 6th is really fishy to me on this documentation. And I'm going to circle it and zoom in on it.
Oh, let's take it back. Major A.C. Brown received it on 5/4/21.
See, and on the Major A.C. Brown, this is a lot of signatures at first. It's not a stamp. But once it start receiving a stamp from the offices of, what is that, the 6th? What date? Which one did it go to first?
Oh, it went from, Human Resources last.
But before that, the 6th is a scratched out date. It's literally clearly shows it was stamped.
With a signature over the date.
Over the date. So we don't know if it was a 6 or a different date. We don't know. But somebody playing around with paperwork. And they don't want Alexis's face to be shown for any, or maybe she paid somebody. I don't know what goes on in the world of anything. But it's clearly cover up. Now, we're not going to spend too much time on this podcast on about this girl. We just wanted to bring it to light because the Tyree Nichols case it became murder. See, this is 2021 with this, what's her name?
Dislocated shoulder of Khadijah Towns.
And then after the Khadijah Towns, it was another guy. And then literally 3 days before that, it was a fella who looked just like Tyree.
The pizza guy.
The
guy with the pizza.
Who went to go get the pizza and got beat up and tried to report it. All of these cases went to the district to be reported, but nothing was reported.
Never was reported.
Never. Wow. We don't report things anymore. We literally just make sure everybody get a cover up at the Memphis police departments. Now, this pretty lady, I don't know if she's a chief or whatever, she's the one speaking up all the time about things. She needs to speak up a lot of stuff that it was covered up in her department. Whoever she's in charge of, because her face is popping up and she's doing personal interviews and breaking news interviews. I'm just going to have her picture flashing. You guys tell me more about it. We're going to do another update on some more stuff. As this case continues to develop, Paige's Events is on it. I thank you, Toot, for letting this to be coming to light. I really...
Not a problem.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. Tyree has took my whole schedule and wiped it out and made it about this case because it needs to come to light. We cannot sit around and allow this to continue to happen. And I'm not going to say only because it's Black History Month and it was a black guy. Because there's white people involved too. And they need to come to light as well.
Like I said the very first podcast, as a people, we need to do better.
Everybody. And like me and my father said on our podcast, what about family matters? These officers have lives at home, people. People have lives at home.
This makes the family look bad.
But they family life can be towed up and they can bring it to the surface outside while they patrolling.
They're still human. They still go through the same emotions as anybody else.
Okay, a badge don't make them mutant.
Exactly. That badge, it holds honor. You're supposed to serve and protect, just like a doctor. When they go against that Hippocratic oath, that's where the problems lie.
Right. And that's with anything. I don't care if you work as the local gardener. Do not come to the gardener job, mowing my lawn, tearing it up because you and your wife got into it last night.
Because you got house problems.
Now my hedges look like Edward Scissorhand did them. And because...
In a bad way.
In a bad way. Not to, but and you just because you angry at the fact that your home or your kid did something bad or any job that you have.
You leave that at the door.
Just like they say, don't bring the job home. Don't bring the home to your job.
Definitely.
Or to the outside world. It's not fair, like I said on Kay's and Me podcast. It does not give you the right because you have a bad day to be like, you know what? Fuck you, bitch, because I'm bad and I'm mad and I'm angry because my money didn't come through.
So I'm going to take it out on you because you looked at me
funny. Or you bumped me and you didn't say excuse me good enough for me to accept it.
You spending money that I can't spend.
That's, oh my Jesus. Oh Lord. That is a really big thing too.
I like spending money. I got a nice amount to spend. I don't want to be feeling bad because I'm with someone that can't spend like me. You've been through that.
Yeah, I have been through that. I've been through that a lot. But see, let me tell you, that's jealousy and envious. And we're going to talk about jealousy, envious, and just peer trolling. We're going to talk about that in another podcast when all the ladies are back and we can get all a separate opinion of everything. I really want to dig into girls' trips, things with relationships that go wrong in girls and females. Just you don't even gotta necessarily go far on a trip. You could just be going around a goddamn corner and things change because of people enviousness that they have in their hearts. Don't let a person, not even just people always think it's just relationships with a male, female, nigga. You know, nowadays you gotta let it all be gone. I respect the LGBT community no matter what. You know what I mean? I'm raising kids. I don't know what they're gonna be when they grow up, but hey, I'll support it all. But with the situations, you have to respect what people are. People don't do that nowadays. And we're going to get into a deeper podcast with that. We have our subjects coming up basically. We're going to talk about the trips. Okay, a specific trip that I went on to Miami. I'm going to talk about that. The tea will be spilled all over the place. Don't burn yourself. And whatever other trips or, things that my girls want to talk about, we're going to do that. Toot, you got anything else you want to say?
Nope, we're going to end it on that note. Everybody have a blessed one.
All right, good night. We love you guys. It's a late podcast, but lately this is when it's going to have to be a school night, so we want to still get it in. We want to still spill that tea.
Right.
All right, guys. Love you. Bye.